Well, isn't this great? We're live. What the heck?
I don't know why, but
it won't let us on.
Yeah, I don't know.
We have 1,012 subscribers, and it's saying we're not eligible because we don't have 1,000.
Yeah. What the heck? But
so
here we are, anyways.
Yes.
Happy Saturday, you guys.
Yeah.
And Vera,
I'm in the winter mode. Chrissy is in the summer mode.
I wanted to match you. Thank you for joining us today by our tropical paradise waterfall here. And okay, so I'm really excited, you guys. We had an amazing evening with Angus last weekend.
That was good.
Wasn't it great?
Yeah.
We had just a really awesome group of people.
We did.
And it was at like a haunted house. That was cool,
ghosties.
man.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Haunted house they had for us and Nora had going on.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I forgot about
it was
that.
cool. 3-headed dog, and it had
things that jump out at you.
Yeah, it was just the coolest ever.
But there was ghosties inside too. Well, not ghosts though.
But there was entities from the other side
giving messages,
visiting
their families.
Yeah, it was really cool. Okay, I have to share something.
Okay.
So yesterday, you guys, we had a session with Angus, and he said that it was a thrill for him to see so many of their loved ones, so many entities on the other side there interacting with you.
Yeah, that's
because you had a lot of their loved ones that were there all wanting to give them messages.
Yeah.
So it was really cool.
Yeah, and it's cool. Well, yeah, it's very cool. Very cool. It was awesome. It was just, you know, the first one, so you don't know like what to expect. But it wouldn't have, it was the best group.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, because it was loving and giving, and there was no, what would you say, kind of negativity of like, yeah, no, I don't think this is right.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. It was, you know, they got their messages and they get to go home and decide what to do with them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I was on a high after that evening.
We didn't
it
fall
was
asleep
cool,
till
yeah.
like 3 o'clock
like
in the
all
morning.
night, yeah.
Oh my
it
God.
was really a lot of just sharing and amazing messages.
Yep.
And so yeah. And do you want to tell everybody? I think we might have mentioned it before about the private parties. Do you want to tell them what we're going to be doing?
Oh yeah, we're going to be offering private parties if anybody wants to start one.
Yeah, if you'd like to
host one. I have something on my lip. Yeah,
because that's what we had. I mean, basically, Nora hosted this private party at her house, and we went there. And so we're going to be having a page that's going to most likely be out for next weekend. That's going to tell you all about how you can host a private party and have an evening with Angus. It's so cool.
Very cool.
So that's our big news from last weekend.
Yes.
And anything else that you wanted to share that's big news?
Well, we have our upcoming anniversary.
Yeah, this upcoming weekend is our anniversary, and I want to tell everybody that it's going to be a little bit longer before Angus's picture is released. I wanted to have it done by our anniversary, but there's some things that I want to make it extra special.
Yeah.
So
we have a question actually.
I didn't see the question.
Yeah, it was Gersharon.
Oh, good.
And she said that maybe there's a way to do it through the computer, and we used to do it that way. It's just so challenging, and we could never stay on because it would be a glitch or something, because I live in a pit.
Oh God,
satellite
totally.
Pit. Yeah.
When we were live on the computer.
So that's why we didn't try it again this time, because we would have been so way late.
Yes.
But I don't know, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe we could still try and just say bye after we do
we'll
this.
Try. Yeah, we'll work on that. But yeah, so I'm excited about our anniversary next weekend. We'll talk about that then. And then, you guys, another really cool thing, Halloween night. You want to tell our friends?
We're going to have a midnight special at midnight in California. Do you think we should do it like at 9 and give people on the East Coast a chance?
Let's do. Yeah, because we were going to be live, and we don't know if we're going to be live now.
Hopefully they'll fix that by the time.
So we will definitely have to. We'll do it, and we'll have it out and
hopefully it's live, and then we'll do it though. Maybe 9 o'clock here.
Yes.
And it would be midnight back east.
Back east.
So
Halloween night, we're going to have a special YouTube episode that you can find us on our channel.
So if you're Pacific Standard Time, it would be 9 o'clock in the evening,
Yes.
and everybody else figure out their time.
Yeah.
I mean, I know East Coast
Yeah.
is, but I don't. The middle part, yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
Vera, what would you like to start off today with?
We can start off with a birthmark.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna read it.
Okay.
Okay. So our birthmark is from one of our fabulous viewers out there,
Yes.
and their name.
I love it because they're young.
I know.
I love all of us.
Of course.
But to have the younger generation be involved in what we're doing, oh my gosh.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Especially too.
Keep it going. 'Cause
Yes.
we're not going to be here forever.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Don't leave without me. Okay, well anyway. But yeah, and then can you imagine to have this information younger in our life?
Yeah.
It's like it helps us so much in life.
Oh, I wish I had
Right?
it when I was, 18.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So their name is Andreas
Uh-huh.
Gallegos.
Gallegos.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, here we go. I am 18 years old, and I've been on a spiritual awakening for 3 months now. And my life has noticeably improved for me. And I always want to learn more. I have a birthmark on the back part of my ankle under the calf that looks like a rhombus shape about 1 inch long. It started on my foot when I was born and has moved its way up to my high ankle area.
Pretty
So,
cool, huh?
Vera,
Yeah.
our
well-
resident psychic medium channel friend, let's hear.
Okay. Well, she was an Aborigine, and this was her most spiritual life, except this one's going to be even more spiritual because she's on a quest. But it was, what do you call it? Aboriginal life, but when they go on a walkabout, like a spiritual, just like when Native Americans did whenever they had to go out. I'm forgetting.
It's like a quest.
It's a
I
quest.
mean, we all
Vision
know
quest.
thank
Quest,
you.
thank you.
That's the term.
Yeah.
Vision quest.
But they
yeah.
called it a walkabout, I believe.
Okay.
In Australia. So that's what you were, and then you ended up being the healer of the group, of that group that you were in. But that Romulus shape is, it's like to remind, because the way that I see it on her, the way it was, it's more like a diamond shape, you know, but it's to show the love that you had for the spirituality back then, and to remember the quest of the walkabout, to be able to, and that's why it's moving. It's like, you know what I mean?
It's on a walkabout.
It's on a walkabout.
Oh,
And-
that's
yeah.
really kind of cool.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
How neat is that?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like a reminder that you're always going to be on a spiritual quest.
That is just so fitting because
Yeah.
like that was even in their question.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Yeah, because
You're
they're
awesome.
yeah on a
Andreas.
spiritual awakening right now. That's neat. Wow, that's cool. What
Yeah.
a cool reminder.
It is.
Well, keep us informed, Andreas,
Yeah.
on your
Spiritual quest.
journey. Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
All right, next we have. You want to go here
Okay,
next?
yeah.
Okay, so you gotta tell us. His name's Ryan, right?
Ryan Serhant, I think. This is a show that I watch. It's called $1 Million Listing.
$1 million listing.
I believe that's the name of it. And it just shows the real estate agents and brokers that do high end. So you kind of build a relationship with the guys that are in it, and the women, because there's women in there too. So this guy, I love Ryan. He is just the most real person. He's just so creative, and from what you can see on TV and what I pick up, like his light, he's just, I know he's a go-getter, that's given, but he also has, he's more ethical than most in regards to how he handles situations. So, but he was talking, it was so interesting. Where is Ryan? Oh, I don't have it down. But he was on the show, and he was trying to make up a name, because he was selling a huge apartment that had so many doors, and it was kind of like, I called it the Winchester house, because it had all these secret compartment kind of things.
And you showed me last night, and it was kind of like he was like a diplomat that he was showing it to.
Well, it was a diplomat's assistant, but the diplomat was going to buy.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that
and
makes
this
more sense.
diplomat has been looking for 2 years to
For the
find
right place.
Right place, and so Ryan was trying to think of when the assistant was going out to ask the owner about selling it, because Ryan gives him a price, and it's not the price that the seller wanted, because it's not a seller's market right now.
Oh, right. I remember that.
New York is
Yeah.
getting hit really, really bad in that phase of it, the high end, I guess. But he was trying to make up a name that he can think of himself as for, I don't know what reason, I can't remember now.
Oh, I do.
Okay, good.
'Cause you showed me last night.
Okay.
It was like he was talking about if he was a spy.
Oh, that's right, a
would be-
diplomat. Yeah,
He was making up his spy
His
name.
Well, he made up a name. He said Colby, and he goes, Colby Spokane.
Yeah.
It's Colby Spokane. That's a cool spy name or whatever. Well, I totally got that he was there. He was a Colby in a past life. He was a gold rush person,
He was a gold miner.
gold miner.
Like,
but you
mining
know, like
for gold. Like
yeah,
the
like the old days. But he came from the East Coast and went to the West to find his fortune so that he can,
Oh,
you know,
interesting.
yeah, do things.
And his name was Colby.
His name was Colby.
last name?
I believe it's his last name was Colby. But the Spokane was after he found all the gold that he found, because he found a massive amount. And the way he kept it secret was amazing, because
How did he do it?
I don't know. But in those days, it's like everybody knew what everybody's doing and everybody's watching everybody. But somehow he was kind of like I want to say like a ninja of the gold miners, because he was able to hide stuff, you know, until he can get it all taken and put in his name, kind of thing.
Interesting.
But he ended up in Spokane, Washington.
Wow, you guys, how cool
Or
is that?
that way. I don't even know if it was called Spokane at
Isn't
the
that-
time.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How something is in our soul and it just comes out, and we may not even realize it.
Yeah. So that's what I got for him.
That is super
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. And he set up a little town, and it was his town, because I mean it was all from the money that he had gotten from the gold mine thing. So gold
So
mine.
he had his own town.
He had his own town.
So in that life, he came from the East Coast, came out here to make his fortune. I don't
but
know
then
where.
he still was in real estate. I mean, he,
Oh, that's true.
you know, in a way.
And
So-
then in this life, he stayed on the East Coast. But yeah, that's so fascinating.
Yeah.
He's still into real estate.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just kind
So,
of really cool.
I know, isn't that cool how your soul knows?
Exactly.
Yeah, it was really interesting. He's a cool guy too. I love him.
That's neat. I think it's neat.
And I'm sure other agents will say, "Oh, he's a snake in the grass," but that's not what I pick up,
You know, if you ever,
because they all fight.
if there's ever like a spiritual question that you might have in your mind, like, what's my totem animal? Or where was one of my favorite, whatever, past lives, or whatever, what's my soul's color, whatever. Sometimes the thing that just comes up to us instantly might be the truth down in there, because it just comes
Yeah.
out. It's like right there in our.
It
just
is.
like for him.
You wrote your
Colby,
chart, it's
he's
in there.
Spokane.
Yeah, I know, because he was thinking. Colby, he got right away, and then he got this Spokane. He goes, "Yeah, that's it." He's so
Cool.
cute,
Okay, you
Right.
guys, this next story is.
and it's really relevant now.
Oh, I can't wait
We
to
need
hear.
to have these charrettes all over the place.
So this is really interesting. Vera, do you want to should we just kind of set up what the backstory is about? There's a movie recently that came out
Oh,
about.
I forgot the name of the movie.
I don't remember the name of the movie, but I just remember
Something
the
about
name
enemies.
of the people. The Best of Enemies.
The Best of Enemies,
That's
yeah.
it. Okay. Should we give some backstory?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, you guys. So Vera showed me this movie last night, Best of Enemies, and it's based on true events, a true life story that happened. And please interject, whatever, anything you can think of. There was back in 1971, I think it was, Anne Atwater. She was a black activist in Durham,
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Mhm.
Okay. And C.P. Ellis was the leader of the
Ku Klux Klan.
KKK.
He was president
The
of that
president.
chapter.
Okay, thank you. The president of this in this town.
Durham.
And at the time, the school for the black children had started on fire, and they couldn't.
Started on fire?
Was lit
Put on fire.
Exactly. Yeah. And they needed a place to have school. And then there was in the community, they didn't want for the black children to go to the white children, the school, for there to be integration.
Want segregation.
Yeah, segregation. And so
they were for segregation.
Right. Well, yeah, they were
the
for
KKK.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then they call it a show.
Well, actually, Miss Atwater was for segregation too. She didn't want her her children
to
or
be
any of the other children
subjected to that,
to interact with white children. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there was hatred on both sides.
How they were treated, and
so
yeah,
it wasn't until the students, all the kids, came to her and said, "We want to learn together." It was the kids that turned her around, and that's when she started to say, "We're doing this all wrong."
Because I remember, in the movie, I remember seeing them together, and it was just, I mean, in that time, it was just amazing to see these kids together.
Yeah.
How they were interacting. It was like, just...
It was the adults that had the issues, not the kids.
Yes.
So then that changed her mind. So then it helped her to start wanting to work with, well, she was kind of forced to work with CP.
Yes. So what happened was there was a gentleman that came there, and he was going to have what they call a charrette, which is sort of like this.
We need those now.
Meeting that lasted for 2 weeks, and it was for the community to come together and talk about and find a resolution for what they were going to do about this issue that was going on. And so that's where they got these two different people, and they had to work together, and then they were going to pick out 10 individuals all together, or 12 or something, 6 from the 6 black people and 6 white people, and then they were going to have the vote. But this KKK president and the black activist, and they had to be kind of like the leaders of.
Well, the guy that did the charrettes made them.
They had
co-chairs.
Right, co-chair.
So they had to work together.
Okay. So then, basically, what Anne was saying is that when she first was listening to him and saw him, she hated him. She wanted to cut off his head.
She even had a knife.
she wanted to cut off his head, which, I mean, everything that was going on at the time.
That guy was, at that time,
bad.
He was rude. I mean, he was bad.
Yeah.
Because they all came in late to a meeting, and CP goes, "Oh, what are you on Africa time?" You know, it was not,
I know,
it
exactly.
was not good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, for just reasons. But anyway, and then CP Ellis, he had a son who was
mentally challenged.
Yes. And then, just to recap, she helped him, his son, and he started to change his views.
Well, the thing with Anne Atwater is that she was a fixer. If somebody needed something, she found a way to fix it. And she just happened to be talking to this nurse that she was helping because she had a house that she's being evicted from because she was complaining about there was no plumbing, there was no toilet, there was no running water.
Right.
And so she happened to be at the hospital, and she saw CP interact with his son.
Right.
So she knew that there was an issue because he had been alone in the room because he had been under, he was institutionalized, let's say.
Right.
And he had always been alone in the room. Well, now he had a roommate, and he was not handling it well.
It was not going well, exactly.
CP's son. So Anne sees it. So what does she do?
And it was amazing, you guys.
It's awesome.
She didn't care who it was.
She just wanted
it was the son of the president of the KKK.
But she cared about the child.
But she didn't care. She wanted to help this
kid.
This young kid, yeah, this young man, this kid who was suffering. He was just
because the person he put in the room with him was very verbal and kicking and screaming all the time.
He couldn't handle
he
it
couldn't
in there.
handle it.
So she got him his own private room, and it was a big challenge to get a private room in this institution.
She rocked that hospital.
She got it for this young man, and then his father, which is C.P. Ellis, was so moved by that. You were saying
first he was confused. He's like, "What the heck?"
Yeah, because he was like, "I don't need help with my own kid," but
and also CP's wife was not into the KKK thing.
No, she wasn't.
She allowed him. Well, no, I shouldn't say allowed, but But
I know what you mean.
Went along with what he wanted because he was so into it.
Right.
So, yeah.
Anyways, this whole thing that we're telling you guys is transpiring within only 2 weeks.
10 days.
How amazing that what this woman did, how it touched him. And that's not, there's other things that she did that she...
See the movie, it's worth it.
Yeah, it is worth it. She was standing up for what they agreed to do to help him, the KKK guy. And even though it was against every fiber in her to do it, she went along with it because she was trying to abide by the rules to bring people together. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So
they became best friends.
They became best friends because you guys, in this 2-week period, at the end of it, when they had to vote,
because you had to have 2/3 vote.
They had to have 2/3 vote,
and there was to have an issue passed.
And there was a few people. All the black people wanted it. Most of the white people didn't, but there was 2 white people that they knew.
And this was for integration.
For integration. And 2 of the white people were going to vote for the integration, but they were threatened. There was a woman who was threatened bad, and you guys can kind of figure that one out. And then there was another guy, and he basically lost his business over it.
Yeah, and he stood up for...
And he stood up...
And he told... Because he was the owner of an establishment, and he had a lot of...
all of his
African Americans working. Yes. And even the manager was African American.
Right.
And then when the Ku Klux Klan found out that this guy was doing that, and they wanted his vote, because they needed to have the votes, right? So this guy still, after all what they did to him, they closed him down, and it was a family business. The fire department was Ku Klux Klan, the police were Ku Klux, all of it was Ku Klux Klan. So that's whenever, I forgot what I was saying.
That's when they were saying they were going to...
Oh, he voted.
Yeah.
That guy stood up, the one that was the owner of that establishment they had closed, he stood up and he voted yes.
Yeah.
But the girl voted
no. She was so scared.
Yeah.
And so
there was one vote left.
There was one left, and it was the president
CP.
of the KKK. Yeah, it was his turn to vote, and nobody thought.
They thought they had it in the bag.
And he actually, because he was saying, Anne in the beginning was saying how she thought all white people were bad, and he was saying how he thought all, like you said, African American people were bad, but he learned that it's not true, and he goes, and I can't vote like that.
He tore up his card.
And he tore up his
in
KKK
front of
card.
everybody.
Yeah. So it was amazing. He voted yes. There was the integration.
And of course his business was targeted.
Yeah, his business was targeted because
he did what he did. And then who do you think fixed it?
Yeah.
Good old Anne.
She did.
She got all of the people in her community to come and get gas from his gas station.
Exactly.
So he stayed in business.
And so they became
best friends.
Best friends.
They went touring all over the country
and talked about their experience together. And
she gave the eulogy at his funeral.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so touching. It's just really amazing. Wow. They became best friends. But the past life that they had together that spurned on this past life that they did, this current life that they had now, was from it was in America, but it was like in the 1800s. It was New York, and there was different gangs, of course, in New York, because it was really not a good time to be in New York because there was so much fighting and all that stuff. But they were both actors in that past life. They were actors, and they became rivals. One CP was from England, and he would come and tour in America. And the other guy, that is Ann, was American, and he was a really good actor too. So they were always kind of fighting for roles, and one did a play and the other one did the same play, and they were kind of back and forth on who was better kind of thing. But there was a riot or some kind of something happened at one of their performances, and a lot of people were killed because the gangs got involved. I believe Ann, the American guy, was representing the middle class, lower class people. He was the man of the people. They loved him. The other guy from Britain, CP, was for the wealthy.
Wow.
You know, the wealthiest who really liked him, the wealthy people liked him. They didn't like who Ann was at that time. So they had this, I think the English guy came and did a play, the exact same play that Ann was doing, but she was a man in that life, and like a block away. And it was just bad because then it started, they started fighting, everyone started fighting because who was better and that kind of thing. But it ended up with mass murder. I mean, there was shooting in the crowd and kind of thing. So Ann's the one that got blamed for it because it was her people, they said, that started it. Who knows who started it, you know, kind of thing. And that just stayed with him his whole life. That's something that he promoted, and he didn't think it would ever get that bad, but it caused harm and injury to people. So he vowed in a current life that he was going to fix it. So that's when he went to CP on the other side and said, let's fix this, let's do it. And so that's how they came together again.
It's really cool because that story right now really is so very relevant.
It's relevant, very much so. You would hope that it wouldn't be, because 1971, this should have been rectified back then. But we're people. People have beliefs, and so hopefully people seeing this again will have hope that we can still all be together.
Yeah. Because
her big thing was, I bleed the same way you do. Because I have not met one person that doesn't bleed the same blood I have.
Exactly.
Exactly. So that's what it is. And I believe after the riot I don't know if it was a riot, but it was something that caused injury. And after that, Ann, the actor, became an activist.
Really?
Yeah. He was promoting patriotism and all that kind of stuff.
Wow. So it's really interesting because of that whole situation. It began this activism cause
with Ann,
for him in that life, and then
now,
in this
CP
life,
was CP in that life too.
Right.
In that past life, because it didn't bother him one bit that people got murdered. It was like, I'm the better actor. It's still kind of thing, but worked it out in this life.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it could have gone either way.
Yes, that's true. And in this life, it's so amazing how it didn't go to violence in this life. I mean, it could have, because it was during that time. Yeah. But
I mean, there was violence.
Well, yeah. I mean, yes, definitely. But I meant
shooting up people's houses and
that's for sure.
But I see what you're saying. But
I meant the charrette where people were actually talking.
Right.
That particular setting.
And that guy was amazing. The guy that went around the country doing charrettes.
Wasn't
because he's the glue.
Yeah.
That put these people together.
Yeah, I shouldn't say there's no violence, because there was a lot of violence happening where there was a lot of intimidation of the different people who were going to vote. But I mean, in the setting when it was, you know what I mean, when they're talking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, that was the goal anyway.
Right.
Instead of shooting in the streets in New York.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you so much.
Yeah, so I thought that was
for sharing
amazing.
that. If you haven't seen it, it's a really cool movie. If not, you kind of pretty much got it in a nutshell right here.
I know, sorry. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, really.
We should have said that at the beginning. Anyway, it's still worth seeing.
For sure.
Because you might have a different take on it, but
Yeah.
that's what we figured out. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys all for coming to be with us
On
today.
our live show.
We wish.
YouTube. And there's
Yeah.
no way to contact them, huh? You have to go to a forum or something.
Yeah, that's what I've found anyways. But, all right, you guys have a great week, and stay enlightened.
See you next week, hopefully live.